You ready?
On my end.
Should I see it on here?
I'll take care of that.
Okay. All right, it is 6:02 and we're gonna get started. Welcome, everyone. Thanks for coming. I'll just do board member introductions. I'm Renee, resident. That way.
Mike Martinez, Vice President.
Elaine Harrison, Treasurer. Tracy DeCarlo, Secretary. Shelby Perone, Membership. Rebecca Salcedo, Teacher Rep.
And then we have Eric here instead of Jesse tonight.
Yep.
Vice Principal. So the first thing we'll do is just review the minutes from last meeting in October. They're attached in the packet there. I'll just give you a couple of minutes and then we will need a first and second motion to do a written paper vote. So just give it a couple of minutes. I'll ask for the motions. Thanks. Okay, can I get a first and second motion to vote on that, or just open discussion, excuse me, sorry. Okay, Ryan and then Jen. Any edits or comments on that? Okay, if you can use the papers in front of you to write yes or no, and then we're gonna pass around the pink basket and we'll just collect those real quick. Thank you.
I think just yes.
Yeah, you don't have to write your name. Thanks, Tracy.
Want me to count?
Sure, thank you. Or if they're all yes, that's fine too.
Unanimous, yes.
Okay, the minutes from September passed, thank you. We're gonna just go through the announcements and upcoming events. Just a lot of thank yous for the Jewell Family Fiesta, for everyone who attended. It was, seemed like it was a really fun event. Hopefully we'll keep that going for years to come. Eastside Escobar donated the bounce houses. M's Bakery donated baked goods and took donations for the PTO. Max's Tacos and Kona Ice gave us a portion of their proceeds. And again, just thanks for everyone for coming, and all the other food cart vendors and all the families. And then we have Mini Mutter tomorrow, which is exciting. 1 week from tomorrow is our deadline for collecting the donations. And then on that same day, the last day for donations, we have a Cafe tour of the town from 4 to 7. It's at Old Mill, and they'll donate 20% of all sales during those hours. So tell all your friends and family. And then we have conferences at the end of this month, and we will put out a sign up hopefully next week for helping bring items to that too. And then we will set up Giving Tree on Monday the 3rd in the morning. We've met with Fan, and she's going to work on getting some items for us to put out on that. And then we have bingo night Monday the 10th. There's no school on the 11th, so that's why we did it on Monday night. So that should be fun. And then we have National Ruby Bridges Walk to School Day on the 14th, which will be at Sun Meadow Park at around 7:15. And then we'll all walk to school together. And then we are also participating in the Fred Meyer Rewards program. So if you just link your rewards card to the PTO, we can get a portion of that donated back to us. So it's the easy way, just for shopping, regular shopping. So all the instructions are on there, but if you have questions or if it's hard, let us know. We can help. And then I'm going to pass it to Shelby for the next part.
October birthdays, we have Casey Cross Brockman, Perla Ruiz, and Amanda Detweiler, all with birthdays in October, and we will be bringing goodies in for them next week, so happy birthday to them. Volunteer opportunities, we've got Mini Mutter tomorrow. We could still use a few helping hands for lap counters and just helping the kids get through the obstacle course and cleanup at the end. Conferences are at the end of the month, and we will be making a sign up online for donations for meals to feed teachers during those long, long days of conferences. Bingo night is also coming up. We think we actually have enough volunteers, but if you're here and want to help clean up, we'd love help with that. And then, as always, we always need more lunch and office support. You can sign up on the PTO website, on Facebook, or in the emails we send out. I'll have a QR code to the sign up links.
Can I ask a question?
Mm-hmm.
I've never done a lunch or office help. What does that look like?
So lunch help involves like coming in. Kindergarten, first graders need a lot of help with kind of opening things and cleanup. And actually, you're at the lunches. You could explain way better than I can about what they do.
Well, I was gonna say, it was funny today because a mom and a grandma of the same kid signed up independently of each other.
Oh,
They're like, hey, you're here. Oh, you're here. The kid was pretty stoked.
Yeah.
Mom and grandma. But it's pretty fun. It's just like you were saying, just sort of helping the youngers with opening stuff, making sure they're not running around, they're asking questions and stuff. And then we clean the tables because there's 3 sets of lunches that happen. Kindergarten, first grader first, then second, third grade, then fourth and fifth. So we just kind of clean up between, make sure everything's kind of orderly. Yeah. Like one of the kindergartners told his mom when she was coming in, because of what I do all the time, get ready for some sweeping, Mom.
And what's the office?
And then office help, you would help Canada send messages to classrooms and among other things.
Yeah, I haven't actually volunteered for that. I always do lunch, so I'm not entirely sure what all the
That's
things
cool. I
that
just wanted
first
to add
aid, things like
I
that.
think kind of running notes maybe
Running
too.
notes,
And we have
yeah.
5th graders that are helping with some of that too, so.
Oh. Thank you.
Yeah.
There was a comment online to explain Giving Tree and conference food. So Giving Tree this year will kind of sponsor a few Jewell families. So we'll get items from the Fan Advocate to purchase and bring in unwrapped, and then PTO can wrap it up and give it to the fan advocate, and that will be like a donation for holiday gifts. And then we can also put like gas cards and grocery cards, and those will be like all year long. So those will be what the fan advocate has needed to hand out. And then conference food, like Shelby was saying, we provide meals to support the teachers while they're working longer days for conferences. Hopefully make it a little easier and fun. Any other questions about this? Okay. Then I think we're gonna pass it to Elena.
All right, so if you guys want to jump back to your last page in your packet, we've got our budget report for the month of September. Not a ton of stuff happening for September for us. We didn't spend a lot of money on very much. We did have two, down at the very bottom, we had general fund requests. We had two general fund requests last month that we pushed through. One of them was voted on at the September meeting for those screens for the teachers. And that was originally going to be for $432. But since we had a big group of teachers and we bought an entire year for them, we got a discount on it. And so it was only $300. So that was great. We also have fundraising spending for, or prize spending basically for the mini mud-ear. We're still coming in way under budget there, so that's looking great. A huge thank you to all the sponsors that we had this year to make it extra fun with the soccer balls and the backpacks that we're going to be raffling off and giving out. So just makes it extra special, and for those companies to come in and help out, it's really cool. We did do some blacktop painting. We don't have that logged down yet because it actually is going to hit our account in October. But that was about $132 we spent for the blacktop painting project. So not too much there, under the $200 budget we had. If you want to flip over to the backside, you're going to see our income for the month of September. Up at the top, we just have interest now for, since we opened up the new savings account at On Point, which is a money market account. So now we are earning interest on our money that we have with them there. So that's great. Mini Mutter income there, the $690, that's just the reimbursement for our water bottles from Quickway. They paid us back for that. So the family fiesta, we actually made a little bit over $200. This is only showing what we were doing. Max's Taco Truck and M's Bakery is the $147. So it's a little, once we got Kona in, it's a little bit over $200 that we got for the Jewell family fiesta, which is great. And that's about it for September. We did some merch sales, and yeah. Our only other things really is playground account that has not had any changes in the account since for the month of September, except for their interest, which was they earned $33.72 in interest. So their current account balance is $21,117.36. And then the only other thing that I have to talk about is we have to talk about the teacher stipends again. So we had a little bit of a mishap with a head count. We got a wrong head count. So when I originally asked, we were told that we had 25 teachers. And then at the meeting, we voted that we were going to do $250 per teacher. So that's the $6,250 that we have on that line item. And before I cut the check, I wanted to double check, and I'm glad I did, because then we got a head count of 28 teachers. So an extra 3 teachers, which is an extra $750. So I think we need to do a first and a second motion to bring that open to discussion. I can answer any questions. So can I get a first and second motion to talk about this?
First. Second.
Does anybody have questions about adding on 3 more teachers to the teacher stipends? Do we want to vote on yes or no? We can just write down yes or no if we want to add that, and then it would change our budget line item to $7,000 instead of $625. So adding in that $750.
These right here. What? Sorry, I don't want to look at yours right away.
Thank you.
What kind of grade is your kid in first?
Okay.
Is this the first year?
Unanimous, yes.
Awesome.
Thanks, everyone. Is that all for you?
That's it for me.
We'll go on to committee reports, and we have Mr. Brocker, not Mr. Rasmussen. Anything from school?
Yeah, just a couple quick things, just reminders about costumes, but also, I don't know if you guys are familiar, we do the PTO started the costume swap. And it's a super awesome thing, and I really appreciate that, so we just wanted to say thank you for that. This is a great way for anybody to get a free costume or get a costume, and it's just cute to watch, because kids are just like, it's like Christmas time. It's super fun. But no masks, so nothing that's covering their face. They can wear the mask during like the parade that we do, so they'll walk through, but not during the day, because we need to see kids' faces. And then nothing like, super scary or bloody or any of that kind of stuff. And then none of those like inflatable dinosaur things. Yeah, they hit the roofs, yeah, no good. And then just a reminder about conferences that are coming up, and this is for any conference that district's trying to be a little more clear and consistent with their messaging around conferences. So if families make decisions to go on vacation, which that's your choice, you can do that. But then the teachers will not reschedule a face-to-face meeting with you. If you're on vacation, you want to call in and do a phone conference, we can do that, and we'll just sign up, like you would on the day of that time or whatever, Thursday at 6. And we can do that. And then we'll send home the packet of information for you that you would have gotten with that. Makes sense? Cool. And that's it.
Hey, Eric, do you know when the water fountains are gonna be installed?
I don't. We were just talking about that today, because we had a guy came in from Cascade Natural Gas for a presentation to the kindergartners.
Yeah.
And he was here when he was a 4th and 5th grader, so he's looking around, he's like, that fountain's still there. I remember my dad having to bend down and trying to take a drink, but I don't.
Jessica, I think the last update from Jesse was that the district was backed up, like their plumber, I think,
figured as
had a
much.
couple other things going on. So he said he was gonna bring it up, which obviously not here today, but
Yeah.
hopefully something you can give us.
I'm sure there's higher priorities than a water fountain.
Okay, and then Rebecca, any teacher, staff updates?
No. No, thank you so much. We just want to, appreciate all the goodies each month. I've had staff ask me like, how can we say thank you? Like, they're going to write on the board or turn in little cards. Just thank you so much. And especially the homemade stuff is really just means a lot. And then also all to echo, the costume swap was great, because it really does allow all of our kids to participate regardless of income. And so that's always really lovely. That was a great way to do that. And I think that Jill is also going to be, Ms. Johnson, who's our PE teacher, is also going to be doing the lost and, what are we calling
The
it?
lost and found swap, I think is what you
Lost
called
and found swap. So,
Ah, there you go.
even though it's the beginning of the year, we accrue a lot in lost and found. And so to manage that, last year Jill started it where we filled, I mean, there was so much stuff at the end of the year in the gym. And families could come in and just sort of take what they need before it just goes to somewhere. So apparently we've accrued enough already to do that at conferences. So please come check for your child's things. And if not, it'll be up for grabs at conferences. But also a really nice way to keep, sort of our resources here in our community. So I think that's a great thing.
Sorry, quick question. Do you know if they're gonna have a setup in here in the media center of the lost and found items that are like this year's, like, or, and then the gym is gonna be just like last year's lost and found?
That's a great question. Like 5 bags of lost and found in the PTO closet. Okay,
From
yeah,
last year?
From last year.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's a bunch
there's
already
already
accrued from this year.
Okay.
I'm not sure if she's gonna split that, but
Okay,
I'll find out.
Okay, thank you. Mike, I know there's not really many updates for the playground, but.
Yeah, I mean, we can talk about the big one, which is if no one's saw on our Facebook page, we did a second round of painting on the playground, or if you haven't had an opportunity, I would definitely encourage you guys to go take a look. But huge shout out to Rod Miller Paint, Sherwin-Williams, Home Depot, and most importantly, the volunteers that actually, were able to come out and help paint. I think it's about 14 hours of combined time invested into that project, as well as I think we probably put down close to 30 gallons of paint on that ground. So significant amount of effort across a small group, but really excited with the results. I think the kids, from what I heard, are starting to use Foursquare again, which is always encouraging to see. So again, huge thank you to our community partners as well as our volunteers. In terms of like next steps, one thing that we tried doing, but it's just a very tedious process, is all the striping. I think Renee's husband and maybe Elena's husband were out there chipping away at it, but I think we're gonna try and explore maybe alternative options like finding a striping machine. Hopefully something the district can help us out with, but we're still sitting on probably 20 plus gallons of paint. So we have plenty of supplies. It's just a matter of finding the time and the resources to do it. But eventually we do want to hit the rest of the playground, the rest of the blacktop. But yeah, that's it for playground.
It looks awesome.
Mhm.
Looks really awesome.
Thank you. And then Shelby has some updates on membership incentives.
Yes. We have 2 incentives for membership going on right now. One is our classroom with the most membership signups. We are going to actually extend that to December 1st instead of November 1st, so that we can get an email out to help have more families sign up and so that they know more about it. And then the other one is the teacher incentive, and we have a $50 gift card of the Teacher Staff's Choice for teachers who have signed up. And if you were here last month, or if you saw last month, we voted to keep or to change the cost for teachers to 0, which was great. And we had
Teachers and staff.
teachers and staff, yes. And we had quite a few signups after we sent that out, that was approved. So I was gonna pick the winner right here, right now. And we even got a Jewell PTO themed spinning wheel over here. But yeah, I thought we could do that right now and you can all watch. So we will go ahead and click to spin. We have 17 teacher and staff members on there. And we will go ahead and spin and see who our winner is. Mrs. Jager, who is here today, so I will happily go let her know. She is in there with all the kids.
Right?
Yes, when she
She
goes,
has a surprise.
yes, yeah. So she will get a $50 gift card of her choosing. Yay.
Okay.
Real quick, Rebecca, so one comment on the swap. Johnny had mentioned that conferences are a great time for parents to grab lost things from the current year. It'd be nice for the lost items for the last few months to not get swapped yet.
Makes sense.
Okay, thanks, everybody. I'll give some updates on the mascot, and then I'll ask for a first and second to open it up for discussion, other ideas. We filed a claim at the bank, and they denied it because it was past 60 days from our purchase. I tried to go on the Federal Trade Commission site to see if they could help us, and that's shut down. Government, the Better Business Bureau, I am gonna list it on there. I've just been having technical problems submitting it, but I will get the information so that may help other people at least know our experience. And then I asked Jesse if the school district legal team could give us any support or advice, and I haven't heard back yet, but I'll bug him again about that. And my proposal and thoughts, because I know that a lot of people are really excited about the mascot, is to look into purchasing another one, and forming maybe a small committee to look into options and present some new ideas. We did get this magazine mailed to us, so, but I know there's I know that people have put in a lot of research last year too, so. Yeah, that's what I have on it. Any first or second to open it up so we can all chat about it?
Yeah, first.
Okay. Casey and Elena, okay. Any questions, comments, ideas? Interest in looking at a new one?
Seems like a good idea. Seems like the kids would be really excited about it.
I feel bad because they voted last year on the mascot and got hyped up about the possibility.
Maybe we can find one
And then-
similar to the one they picked before.
They probably forgot.
Yeah.
I'm sure they don't remember.
I don't think my son remembers, but there's other kids with better memory out
Oh,
there.
Great, well, I can put messaging outside of this meeting that I'm looking for staff and parents who are interested in looking around and picking a new one so we can get one.
Who gets to be the mascot?
You.
I think there were teachers who were excited about wearing this,
Whoever
so,
heads
yeah.
the committee.
Yeah.
That's true, if you head the committee, you get to wear it first, it'd be fun.
You would be surprised how many teachers want to wear that thing. It's like an argument.
Okay, thank you all. We are gonna do, we have 2 staff funding requests. If you wanna go
Yeah.
swap out, Kylie can be first. And that's where I'm just gonna-
I think you can probably go.
You sure you did keep it down?
Not a lot. Thank you for waiting.
No problem.
Hope you have a good night. Can I ask a quick question of volunteers from the meeting? If someone wants to come at the last minute, just they would come through the
Of course,
office.
yeah. Yeah, sign in, as long as you have your background check, yeah.
We're talking about for mini money. Okay, to just watch, we can just watch outside the fence, yeah?
You can come in. You just get a visitor badge versus a volunteer badge. And you can come in and watch. And
I think you do have kind of
Sure.
background check done.
yeah,
Yeah, you
you
don't,
can still be a visitor.
Okay.
That's why I wanted to.
It is interesting though, talking about visitors.
Yeah.
Frozen, not right.
No. Kylie just used her teacher voice.
Okay, that makes sense.
She was passing the baton.
Yeah.
Responsibility to him.
Hello. Okay, before you start, we drew for what teacher gets the $50 gift card, and you were our winner. Chat after about where you'd like that gift card to.
Where do I go? Here?
Yep.
Hi. Just give the spiel?
Yeah.
Yes.
Give the spiel. Hello. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Kyla Jager. I'm a 3rd grade teacher, and I teach in the dual immersion program, so I teach Spanish and English. We have a request on behalf of all of DI, something that we worked with you guys last year on that we kind of introduced and seemed to be pretty popular, so we're going to try to expand a little bit based on feedback. So we have this program called Raz Kids. It's a reading program. It's a level reading program. So it lets kids work on books that are at their level specifically. And then the cool thing is that it lets us do it in both languages. So if one kid is higher in Spanish, they can be at a higher level and get books that are at that level in Spanish and a lower level in English, or vice versa. So they don't have to be at the same one. Because what we find is finding books in Spanish can be kind of difficult, especially ones that are at the right level, especially with other programs we use. Sometimes it's tricky to get like that just right fit. So they're really getting better and making progress. So this has helped. In my class last year, I actually saw a fair amount of growth, like data that showed where the kids that were using it, that it actually made a difference, which is always really exciting. You see the little numbers go, yeah. Hi. So we are asking to renew our subscription, and then I talked with Jen Marriott, our kindergarten teacher, and she's interested in having her own license. So it would be, and we got one, the office and Jesse was able to get one for our new 5th grade teacher as well. So it would be getting 6 licenses, which is more. So what we're asking this year is more. So if you're like, that's a lot more than last year, because that's 2 additional licenses. And this helps all of the kids in DI program, as well as all of our kids who are English language learners. So kids that are not in our DI classes, who are also native Spanish speakers or who are more comfortable in Spanish. It lets them kind of take that affective filter of like, oh my gosh, new language, no clue what you're saying, to like, oh, I understand this for once. So that generally helps those kids as well. So approximately, it will help us support 160 kids, which is a large population, like a large number of our population at school. So money to numbers, yes. So it's technically split into 2 different things. We have Raz Plus Espanol, so the Spanish side of it, and then the baseline is Raz Plus English. So the baseline English one is for 6 licenses, $1,488. And then to add the Spanish into those, so all the existing ones, almost like an add-on, it's another $450. So total, it comes out to just under $2,000 at $1,938. So again, way more than last year, 2 additional licenses, and it hits more kids this year too, which is nice.
Okay.
Questions?
Thank you. Oh, before we do questions, can we get a first and second to open it up for that? Shelby and Jen? Okay. Okay, now go ahead. Questions?
Okay. Questions? Anyone want to
Is
know
this
more about it?
something that they can use in the library, or like would it not be effective in there?
So they could use it in the library, but it's not necessarily going to be the most effective for that moment.
Yeah.
It's almost like they have their own personal library that they can access throughout the day. And then it does, the nice thing is this is a year-long subscription and they're able to access it over summer. So for kids who maybe don't have English or Spanish books at home, it gives them access to it all summer. Last year we had a little bit of a problem with it kicked like some kids out of one of them and not, because we bought it like later in the year and we had to deal with the guy who's super nice and he's like, I'm gonna give you at this price. He actually is the one who was like, do it now. Because I guess the price goes up in December, so he's like, do it now, ask your PTO now. I was like, okay. So for library's sake, not so much, but it does expand the amount of books that they have access to as a whole. And they can do it at home, so if there's tablets or stuff at home, we can do that. We're also looking at, they have printable books or printable versions of the book, so we're looking right now at like how to make it so we add that almost as like a homework for some kids, or if not all, in some classes. Not everyone's gonna do it, but it adds more text in their life day to day. So yeah, she focuses more on like they do read alouds and then they pick the books from that library. But this is more in the classroom, at home, over summer, extra access.
Was last year the first year that has happened?
Yeah, last year is the first year that we've used this program. I brought this program, I wanted to do it for me, and then Jesse was like, do it for whoever wants it in DI, because when I taught in Washington, this is one of the main things that we use to like reinforce at home and get those, because we had a lot of kids who didn't have books, period, at home. And so this was like tiny paper book, take it home, read, and it really shot up the reading scores. So
Yeah.
it's not an end all be all, it's not a fix everything, but it is something that we can add to supplement and bring that up when either they don't have access or they just need extra practice.
I'm glad it worked for you guys last year.
Yeah, there was one kid in particular, and I looked at the scores and I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
So some kids, it hits real fast. Some kids, it's a slow growth, but more books here, more books. They can't hurt.
And you talked to all the DI teachers and they're all,
Yeah, we had a meeting this last week just to be like, we all want this, how do we want to use it, and kind of like went all together. There were a few people missing for different reasons, but the consensus as a group is, yeah, we want to try this again. And teachers will use it differently to like suit their needs in the classroom, but from what I've seen when I was in Washington and from what I've seen in my own class last year, because I was super stoked that we were able to get this last year, it's made a difference and it's cool.
thanks. Can I hear your chime in on it?
I haven't used it yet.
Okay.
We were rolling it out last year and getting in the right spot. She was nice enough to help split her license with Jen Marriott too. So that was why she was like, oh wait, can I get my own? Because we split half of her class into Salceto's and half of her class into Jamie's because we didn't have the right amount of licenses and we weren't sure if she was going to want it. So we started with the low ball of like, let's try it, see how people feel. And then from there, everyone's kind of used it their own way. So.
It's fully my intent too. It's just early in the year for first graders on an iPad.
Yeah.
But we're excited about it.
Kindergarten and first are kind of like, we roll out through the year. Second up is more like, okay, we can jump in now because they know how to read instead of learning.
Yeah, I've seen some of it already.
Yeah, I bet you have probably.
It's cool.
Is this something you see yourself asking for every year? And where I'm going with this is like, I think it's probably too late now, as I don't want to delay this, but looking for multi-year discounts or maybe doing like a 3-year contract with them to see if we can reduce that
Yeah,
risk. So,
I can talk to Brian, the rep from Raz Kids who we've been working with, to see if there is a discount for like multiple year type things.
Okay.
I know last year, Jess had brought up possibly doing it as a repeated thing on our budget, which I know is a lot, and that kind of like plop that out there. But there was talk of like, how long term is this? Would it be beneficial? So I can ask for the Raz rep if there is some sort of like long term commitment discount, because he's really good at like playing with things and getting some money off. So
So to kind of piggyback off of what you said, Mike, is there any way that tonight we can vote, because it sounds like we need to get it now, right?
Yeah.
So is there any way that we can like vote on like, yes, let's do a 1-year subscription, or like if he gives us a discount for 3 years or whatever, like, yes, we can do 3 years and like we can just get it done?
yeah,
Is there
that's
any way to do
possible.
that?
So I have to just do it before December, so I do have October, November, so however we want to do that, as long as it's submitted by like, he said like mid-November at latest, it should be processed and ready to go with the prices at now. And then I can ask him if it would be like, could we lock in a price for however long, but I can't, I was just going for 1 year, but if we can, that'd be cool.
Is that something that you guys are willing to do?
We can vote on that amount. We can't vote on like an unknown amount. We have to get it back again in November
Is
for ongoing.
Something we can pass tonight and then like we could put it on the agenda in May
Yeah.
and check in with
Oh,
the DI.
Well, we
teachers
could do
and
it in
see.
November too,
Yeah.
if you get an updated number for like a 3-year.
Okay, yeah, however, whatever works for you guys, and it, like, if we just wanna do the year long this year and then bring it back at the end of the year or whatever, that's fine too. We're just at the very least trying to lock in, can we have this year, please?
I think it would be fine to try that if you wanted to get a new number,
Okay,
and then we could just re-vote. I mean, we would know we'd have that passed if it passes, but then we could add on whatever the extra is.
Or you at least have this year guaranteed.
yeah, that'd be sweet.
Sorry, Casey, go ahead.
Oh, was that the cost for all the licenses or
Yep.
per license? Oh,
Nope, that's the
not
cost for
bad.
all of them, so it's 6 licenses for just under 2,000.
Nice.
I second you. I'm like, $2,000 to increase reading for 100 and something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can go get a sponsor for that if we need to.
Any other questions? Okay, let's do the vote, yes or no, please. Ms. Clara. These one, these here, if you want to read this one. Yeah. Two of those in there for me. Those two, okay.
I done it on the website and I didn't see the Google.
We're good.
I missed that part.
It's like double down, I like it.
Close your eyes and see.
Kylie, thanks for having such clear numbers.
Oh, yeah.
So easy to understand.
Yes, I tried to make sure, like last year, I worked with again. It was like, can we do it lower? Can we do it lower? This time I was like, Brian, what you got for me? So, yeah, he's good about making sure we have the right numbers and stuff.
Hey Kylie.
Yeah.
You wanna find us another mascot costume?
We had a magazine. She's the most excited about it.
It's unanimous, yes.
Okay, that passes. Thank you. And then just, yeah, maybe fill out another form that says part 2 for 3 year would be this. Yeah, for next month.
Cool, awesome, thank you. Okay, I'm gonna go ring the children.
Thank you. And then, sorry, we have Rebecca presenting
Yes.
one as well.
Okay. So I am a first grade dual immersion teacher, and this is a project request on behalf of the 3 first grade classes, so the 2 English classes, Ms. Detweiler, Ms. Zia, and myself. It's supplies for a social studies unit on traditions and holidays around the world. We, across the span of about 3-ish months, have a friend of mine that travels around the world. His name is Globetrot Scott, and he sends us packages from different places around the world, and we explore those traditions and holidays, language, dress, food from all of those different places as we receive each package. And they do a journal, and in that package we also get a souvenir, which is generally a craft or a treat that gets that the kids do, and then they eventually take all of them home. The map that's there on the wall you'll see is as we were basically getting ready to kick off so that the kids start to learn where these places are and connect that cultural component with our world, and then also themselves. So they the project lasts from November to about January, February, depending on when these different events fall. And then they learn about the similarities and differences within different cultures. And so the itemized list is separate here, and the total is $226.50, and it includes the green tissue paper, green, red, and yellow tissue paper for and red and green cardstock for poinsettias, tissue paper poinsettias that we make when we get our package from Mexico. One of the traditions in Italy is writing little secret notes to your parents in a nice dinner napkin. So we'd like to have holiday napkins for the kids to write their little notes. In India, we talk about the Festival of Lights, and so we make little paper lanterns, and we would like to get some gem stickers to make those kind of pop. We also teach them about Hanukkah, and this year we would love to be able to, we teach them the dreidel game. This year we would love to be able to send a dreidel home with each kid so they can play it at home with their families and teach them the game. And we would also love to be able to provide gelt, chocolate gold coins for the kids when they're learning the game. From China, we celebrate Chinese New Year, and we do dragons and some other things, but we have the kids write a wish on a yellow cardstock gold coin. But we would love this year to have them put them in these actual like gold embossed, not fancy, but it's from Oriental Trading Company, but they're not just plain red envelopes. They would be Chinese embedded with dragons on them envelopes, and then also little, those scratch things that are black and then you scratch and they're like rainbow underneath, the little dragons that hang for them as well. We do Germany and we talk about gingerbread and gingerbread man lore that comes from there. So we would love to be able to give them gingerbread man cookies. And as you know, our treats have to be store-bought, so can't be made. And then we learn about the, and I'm probably mispronouncing, Bûche de Noël from France. And that tends to be our last day of school right before Christmas break. And so we, they're actually Swiss cake rolls that we bring, but they're Bûche de Noël. And they each get a little cake from France. And then at the end is also these white bags that we use to have the kids take the majority of their crafts home on that last day of school. So if they want to gift that to someone in their family, like their beautiful poinsettias, or some that we do a Russian paper craft that is a matryoshka, a nesting doll, and some other activity. We just save them, and then on the last day of school before Christmas break, they decorate their little bag and they take all their souvenirs home, and they can gift them if they want to, that's their choice. So those bags are included in there, and the total is 226 for our 60 students in first grade.
Okay, we get a first and second to discuss. April and Casey, thank you. Any questions?
Are you and Miss Det and Miss E, are you guys doing all of this work yourselves to like build these packages and?
I do. It's something I brought over from my first year's teaching. So I have boxes that get delivered. They're packaged, stamped from all over the world. And they get delivered. The kids get super excited about it. And then we just share our package with, so now the other first grade teachers have really loved it and gotten on board with it. And so every year we try to kind of up the ante a little bit.
That's
That's why it's like,
It's amazing.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
it's been fun.
I've been in the classroom when you've done some of these, and it's so much fun to hear, and the kids get so excited.
And it is as a dual immersion school, but really any school. The social studies is definitely a component, and when kids really connect it with something fun and meaningful, I think it sticks. And then also, as our cultural competency standards are, we are trying to learn that how people and families are in many ways similar to us and in some ways different, and learn to respect those different pieces of different cultures.
I'm totally in favor for all this, but I guess my question would be for Eric. Is there, I know that, so you guys have, teachers have like their own funds and own money and stuff. Is there, I guess I've never known, like, is there like a school fund that like could fund something like this for teachers' ideas as opposed to PTO? That doesn't mean I'm not voting yes, because I'm voting yes. I'm just
That's a
curious.
great question.
Not really, no. That is, and it's tended historically to be something that PTO helps out with, provides sort of some of the extra stuff.
Gotcha.
And in the past, what we've had, like for the pieces that we have put together, we've cobbled together each of us individually from our classroom budgets.
I also have a question. My son did similar stuff last year in kindergarten. And he loves learning about all these, like they did Chinese New Year stuff. And I'm not trying to be a party pooper at all. I've studied religions and things, and I know a lot of these cultural traditions are rooted, or religion has a big role in them.
Mhm.
And I totally understand like wanting to appreciate similarities in other cultures and differences being okay.
Mhm.
But from my own experiences, I get shaky when I about religion and different religions that I've studied in my human rights studies. So will you tell me about, and you've been in the classroom, so, and you said students love it, so I just don't, I get nervous about.
I completely understand, and obviously, like, we also as teachers, and especially at this age, in this age group, we're really careful about just, so here's what it is, and I'm happy to share, but that each journal page, like, it'll come with like maybe a book. So the package will have a book, or we watch a little video, and it'll be about, so for example, in Mexico, the posada. So they'll learn about the legend behind the poinsettia and how they do a march through to their church. We don't focus on the religion, we focus on the posada. It's like, and how is that similar to something we do? And they always connect it with different parades that in their short little lives, they have experience with, right? So because they're 7. So they're making connections and things that we do, but for different reasons, right? We don't spend a lot of time on the actual, like, we don't really even talk about religion. It's just, this is something that a lot of people do in this country, and this is what it's about. I mean, it's one lesson and then the craft the next day. So we don't spend a lot of time really, and it's at a first grade level. So so that's one. And then Hanukkah, we've got a little menorah in the classroom, and we just talk about lighting one candle and doing a gift each day. It's just talking about how different, not everybody celebrates Christmas. And it's really at an age appropriate level. We don't dig deep.
I appreciate the insights, and it doesn't impact, like, I just want to know, like.
Yeah.
So
No, very
I
careful.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
I can agree with
And
her.
schools have to be careful
Yeah,
about
they
that
do.
because of the whole separation, church and state thing and all that. And, but I would agree. It's really more about the event itself and finding similarities than it is teaching about our religious piece.
And like, he learns about his friends' religions at school, and he asks questions, and we're more than happy to answer questions at home about what he's learning from friends and what they practice.
Right.
So it's not something I'm trying to avoid. I just wanted some easing from my own nerves, so I appreciate it.
We've been very intentional in the books that we choose, in the language that we choose. So it is traditions around the world. We're not celebrating.
And it's so hard because it's like we all have differences, and that's okay until it's not. So,
No,
thank you for hearing me and for your response.
I can agree with Rebecca too. They're pretty, like, the teachers are pretty dang good at, like, separating that stuff. And I agree, religion's not really a thing. And with us being a dual, where's your child's last school dual immersion? So it's kind of new, not so because I'm a fifth grader, but when I first came here, it was kind of new because, like, you are learning different religions and stuff like that. And it's just part of, like, this school because we do have the dual immersion. And so it's kind of interesting. The kids come home and they're like, oh my gosh, I got to do this. And they have, like, I don't know, Halloween stuff that's out here, and the kids just get excited about it. And it really isn't about religion. And I'm about that stuff. And so it is nice that you guys don't include the religion thing. Yeah, it's a good school.
Any other questions before we take a vote? Okay, let's do this maybe one more time. We have open forum, but pass that around. Nice. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I didn't.
Yeah. Yep, I can agree with that.
Unanimous, yes.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. And now we have a few minutes for open forum if anyone wants to propose anything to discuss.
I do have a quick question. So on bingo night, I'm sure that you guys already talked about this last meeting, and I just don't remember. Can you remind me what that looks like? Because you said it was at Silver Moon Brewing.
Not this one. This is just our at school bingo night.
The one next month is just the one at
What's
school.
the Silver Moon one?
It's a new fundraiser we're hoping to do. We're waiting for an email to go to an information session. I just talked with them on the phone so far, but basically a bingo that's hosted there. And then the seats, like you can reserve tables and those funds go to the hosts. And then the bingo cards are usually, I think, $20 or $40. Sorry, I can't remember off the top of my head, but that money comes to us, back to us.
And is this only like you have to like say that you're from Jewell, or is this like a?
No, anybody could come and just all the proceeds would come back to us.
Anybody that's present at that event and buys a bingo card, that would go back to us.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and Bear Creek has done it, so I'm thinking once we go through the process of talking with the higher ups, it'll be approved. But we'll go to the information session first, and then the upfront cost is $500, but then you usually make it a couple thousand at least.
Do we know what the return is from Bear Creek?
I believe that we did. Can I try to pull it up on my computer? Let me see if I can find my notes. Give me a minute. I'm curious.
Really fun, isn't it? Yes, there's things like DJ music and there's like singing and people, it's just really lively.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I watched it, just, I don't remember.
Yeah, there's lots of videos online too, like on Instagram.
Okay. There's Silver Moon
Is it downtown? It's like when you go right when you go on the.
on the right hand side.
Okay.
There's a huge white building that they just painted white like many months ago.
Looks like he didn't tell me what Bear Creek made specifically. I can ask though, but several have made 10,000, some 3 to 4. The average to expect is around 5,000 minus the 500, so 4,000.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty fun time, and I would hope that maybe Jesse or Eric can come too and liven it up.
You're signed up, Eric.
I'm gonna sing karaoke.
You're gonna sing for us too?
I'd want to say shout out on the sending the little flyer home in the kid's backpack about tonight. Because I've gotten all the other communications, but there's something about a physical piece of paper when you know you have to throw it away. That worked for me. Like when you're saying about the competition for the classroom for signing up, like those little sheets.
Could I just know you that I'm sure that the board appreciates you literally saying that you received every single communication? Because being on the board last year, they're like, well, I didn't get anything. And it's like, I literally sent out, like.
I work in
different ways.
communication, so I know you have to send things like 7 times. But different people respond to different methods.
You're hired.
And kind of expensive. But for my kids' school, I guess.
Okay. Any other items? Okay, I forgot to update that last page. Our next meeting, I think I wrote on most of them, November 20th, 6 to 7. And anything online? Okay, we will end at 7:01. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.